벡터 이미지 방식이랑 벡터
공유도
여러 블록체인을
어떤 걸? 네, 완성. 좀 한 3분 있다 시작하면
아, 저기 떠왔어요. 그걸 못 끌어보네. 잘하는 사람들이 저거 써가지고 싶어. 데이터베이스. 그거는 막 프로젝트.
3분 있다 시작하라고 수림 선배가 그랬어.
LLM은 기술적인 회사가 없는 LLM 친구가 어디 가는 치가 없어서
그게 아니라
데이터베이스
당연히 많이 헷갈려.
그쪽 모르겠습니다. 이게 좀 추진 일로 있는 그냥 동료를 할게요. 에스크를 봤어요. 그 얘네 끄덕 엄청나게 떨어집니다. 그래서 기존 구조 관계가 모든 것이 다 해버리면 결국 다 걸릴 수 있어요. 이런 식으로 클러스터나 그런 게 있어요. 정말 저거만 진짜 너무 수학적으로 분명히 상황.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yebeen Lee, and today I'll present presentation paper titled ReGraphRAG, Reorganizing Fragmented Knowledge Graphs for Multi-Perspective Retrieval Augmented Generation. It published at INFONET 2025. This research conducted by the team at Hanyang University addressed the critical issue of fragmentation in knowledge graph-based RAG systems. Introduction. This paper typically framed the limitations of existing RAG systems into two major categories. First, text-based RAG has inherent constraints. Retrieval is performed over independent text chunks, which makes it difficult to explicitly leverage structure relationships. As a result, it has a limited ability to support multi-hop reasoning, since the evidence is often fragmented and sorry, an explicit related backbone. To address this, graph-based RAG has been promoted as a solution, but it has also problem like fragmentation remains unresolved. Existing light RAG often suffers from a disconnected retrieval process, which reduces the effectiveness and efficiency of downstream reasoning and generation. To address this, the paper proposed ReGraphRAG, a new framework that reorganizes fragmented retrieved knowledge into a connected graph, thereby improving both the coverage of the generated response and the depth of multi-hop reasoning. There are 4 steps of method, and first step is perspective expansion. First is the key idea is instead of covering the graph with the original question only once, we decompose it into multiple interpretive perspectives to collect evidence that is both broader and more informative for reasoning. Concurrently, we use an LLM to break the original query into M distinct perspectives. Then for each perspective, we generate n sub-queries using chain of thought prompting with in-context example. There are prompts in appendix. If you want to see, you can see it. And this makes the search intent more explicit and helps retrieve more targeted evidence. And our retriever R then uses these generated sub-queries rather than the original query to retrieve semantically relevant nodes from the knowledge graph. As a result, across M perspectives, we obtain H1 to HM. A crucial point is that each HI typically consists of disconnected, fragmented subgraphs. So, the retrieved evidence often comes back in as disconnected and fragmented subgraphs, as you can see. This fragmentation is more than just scattered evidence. It directly undermines the core strength of graph-based RAG. So, multi-hop reasoning over a connected chain of evidence. When the information flow is already broken at the retrieval stage, the generation stage struggles to maintain a coherent reasoning path. To address this, ReGraphRAG reorganized the fragmented subgraphs into a single connected graph structure. There are 2 steps in graph reorganization step. First step is path-based integration. It tries to connect the subgraphs using paths that already exist in the original knowledge graph G. For each pair of subgraphs, we run Dijkstra's algorithm like this to find the shortest path, and it merges the ones with shorter paths first. This is helpful because those shortest paths often bring in intermediate nodes that were missing the retrieved results. So they naturally fill the gaps in the reasoning chain. And step 2 is cementing similarity-based integration. Even after step 1, some subgraphs are still disconnected simply because there is no path in the graph. This is the main difference with the vector-based RAG. In that case, we switch to the semantic approach. We use node embeddings to find the most similar node pair across the disconnected subgraphs. Then we add a new edge between them and merge the subgraphs. In the end, we get one connected graph per perspective, and across m perspectives, we obtain m connected graphs. This reorganized graph make it much easier for the LLM to perform coherent multi-op reasoning from multi-angles. Recent studies suggest that where key information is placed in the prompts, especially near the beginning of the end, can significantly affect LLM performance. Based on this insight, this paper reorders the extracted graph structure according to its semantic relevance to the main query so that the most important evidence is positioned more effectively within the prompt. The author also argued that the major limitation of graph-based RAG is not a lack of information, but rather redundancy of the retrieved evidence. To address this, they design a prompt that use only the minimal essential information encoded in the knowledge graph, while still encouraging chain-of-thought reasoning. Importantly, this prompt explicitly defines the semantic context that justifies each relation, in other words, the perspectives. As you can see, and if the same triplet appears across multiple perspectives, it is included only once under the undefined across all sections. Overall, these guidelines significantly reduce the required token length, making the prompt scheme more efficient and scalable. Next step is experiment. Experiments. Now I'll briefly describe the experimental setup. We compare ReGraphRAG against 4 RAG baselines, and